What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, as I've made the point here real recently, we've been so caught up in the immediacy of these unreleased Disney Plus shows and, of course, the entire delayed Marvel Phase 4 slate, we haven't really had a chance to look ahead to those projects which either are semi-announced or not announced at all, but that we know are coming in the MCU, something along the lines of Blade or Fantastic Four or even Deadpool 3, and fresh off the rumors that Ryan Reynolds was asked to sign the biggest contract in MCU history. Now, when you talk about Robert Downey Jr.'s contract, that is a lot of films, but regardless of that rumors of validity, we have a brand new anonymous 4chan plot leak today that is absolutely crazy, indicating that Deadpool 3 will take place during Avengers Endgame, that the snap may be the reason he ends up here. We're going to read through it word for word, break it down, try to contextualize it with what we already know about the future of the MCU and the Deadpool franchise, and of course issue the normal spoiler warning first. But if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale beta ray bill, and next month our third and final Infinity Saga box set. All you have to do is leave a comment down below and hit the subscribe button, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So first up, the normal spoiler warning, and it's twofold. Of course, make sure to take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios, especially those things which are posted anonymously to 4chan, with a grain of salt. But in the past, some of these 4chan leaks have ended up being right on the money. So if this is in any way going to ruin your Marvel Phase 5 or Deadpool 3 experience, only you know if you're susceptible to that sort of thing. You might want to back out now. Also, don't go to 4chan to look for these things. You can usually find them resourced on Reddit. 4chan is not a safe site, and just in case you want to read through it yourself, we've actually sourced the original text here as well. You've been warned, literally don't go to 4chan. Now the plot leak starts. A new MCU Deadpool is indeed in the works. Reynolds and Feige have finally come to an agreement on what the movie will be. It's half a sequel to the established Deadpool series and half a reboot. Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick will return to write the script along with Reynolds, who already has a bare bones draft constructed that he used to pitch the movie to Feige. It will be titled Deadpool Retcon and will be set during the snap. The film will open with the entire established supporting cast of the Deadpool franchise getting snapped away, with Weasel getting snapped off the screen to avoid using TJ Miller, and I have my doubts there, but we're going to get to that, which will be referenced in a fourth wall break. Deadpool will assume this happened due to him time traveling at the end of Deadpool 2 in an attempt to fix it. The running joke is that Deadpool has always been in the MCU, and there's definitely nothing strange about that. T-Ray is the villain. The film will be rated R and released under 20th Century banner. It will work a lot like the Sony Spider-Man films, where the MCU is canon to Deadpool, but not necessarily vice versa. Reynolds signed a historically lucrative 5-film contract with Marvel Studios. There will be a big headline when the news breaks. The money is insane. Expect this news by December 10th. Likely will be announced by Reynolds on Twitter, Instagram, possibly in character as Deadpool. Now, there's a lot to break down in here, and we're going to start with the first implication that Deadpool has always been in the MCU, and there's definitely nothing weird about that. You guys will remember during Deadpool 1, even though it was including characters from the now defunct Fox X-Men universe, that they were possibly on a helicarrier at the end of that film. There's been implications throughout the entirety of both Deadpool films that it could be in the MCU. Of course, now that the rights are back over at Marvel Studios, if they wanted to do that, that's well within their right and their prerogative. The fact that they would allow him to somehow intervene, though, and be a part of whatever happened during Avengers Endgame, well, hold your horses right there, because I doubt there's going to be a reopening of any of that film, that they'll reshoot any of that, or they'll even touch that masterpiece. Let's face it, it's not akin to what happened with Star Wars, but we've all learned from past mistakes. Leave that alone. Now, with an historically large contract for Reynolds only being 5 films, when that was originally reported, it was reported that it wasn't a money large contract. That wasn't the historic part. It was the number of films he was going to be asked to be in. When you think about Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, that is so many films, it's actually insane to think, and it's hard to think an actor of Ryan Reynolds' ilk, even with a character like Deadpool, would agree to be tied down for the next 10 to 20 years. If he's signing on for 8 films, that's a lot of work for someone like him, who's as ubiquitous as he is and has his hands in so many pies, not even in front of the screen, but behind the screen as well. I doubt that they'll have any involvement from TJ Miller, and I was also wondering what they would do with the rest of the quote-unquote supporting cast if they would bring those characters over as well. Outside of maybe those cameos from the X-Men characters like Colossus, you could have the other supporting cast that wouldn't really intervene too much or interfere with what's going on in the MCU or any of their future plans for the X-Men, but it sort of does immediately canonize the now defunct defunct Fox X-Men universe and all of its loose ends and unbelievable timeline. You would never think Marvel Studios would have been willing to do that, but with confirmation now that Marvel is looking to do the same for the Spider-Verse and that they did reach out to Hugh Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart, maybe they have a very sound plan on how they want to explain that, so it's not as scary a proposition to have those characters somehow find their way over and leave the loose ends of what's canon and what's not, again, from that Fox universe. Either way, the fact that it'll be rated R, I don't think is a surprise to anybody, but it is a surprise to me that they would put it under the 20th Century banner and not under the Disney and Marvel Studios banner. This is one of their more lucrative properties in a solo franchise, and a proven franchise at that, with two films that have, well, done really well. I'm surprised they would put it under another banner, but this could be evidence that Marvel is not looking to do a rated R film sector label like we said perhaps has been rumored in a couple of other places, and we said would be a great idea because the demographic here at the channel indicates that everybody's over the age of 18. We are ready for rated R Marvel. See The Punisher. Either way, the running joke that he's always been there, that would make sense. That's what Deadpool tried to do from the beginning, and if he has signed a huge contract with lucrative money and he pitched this and it worked, I could see them doing something like this. The fact that the person who announced this on 4chan came with the final line to expect this news by December 10th and that it would likely come via Reynolds' Twitter or Instagram is extremely specific. More specific than you ever see on 4chan. In fact, I usually say that a lot of these plot leaks are complete nonsense, as this one could be, or just a compilation of all of the leaks before it. That is some pretty exact knowledge, and even though I'm not going to claim this is real, and wouldn't be surprised if none of this comes true, if there's some sort of announcement around December 10th, you better believe we need to revisit this plot leak. Now, one final thought I'll leave you with, especially as it pertains to bringing other characters over from Deadpool, is one character in particular that had a lot to do with the snap and had everything to do with why Deadpool was time traveling in the first place, none other than Josh Brolin's Thanos and Josh Brolin's Cable. I hated it at the time, the fact that those movies came out in such close proximity, that they were both iconic Marvel characters, one a hero and one a villain, and that he was playing them both. I hate it even more now that Deadpool's going to be in the MCU with some sort of pseudo-canonization of his backstory, and I have no idea how Marvel intends on addressing this, if we'll see any of those characters, but it would follow to me that just the CGI on Thanos is not enough to separate Josh Brolin from these two roles, and it will be ultra weird and unsettling in a way that I think would actually stop me from suspending disbelief if they have Josh Brolin's Cable in a film that even comes close to crossing paths with Josh Brolin's Thanos, and then you think about them allowing any of those characters or that masterpiece again to be reopened, and I'm just not buying it. I'm not saying there isn't any truth to any of this, but this is a long shot, pun totally intended for sure, and I have no idea how Marvel Studios would reconcile that. Guys, let me know down below. I am all ears. What do you think about this plot leak? Again, stay off 4chan. I've overlaid the text here for you, but if you want to find it, it's in a couple places on Reddit. What do you think about this? Any validity to this at all? The story is awesome. It's extremely intriguing. I just don't think they'd want to cross this over with Endgame in any way, but I may be wrong. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill and our third and final Infinity Saga box set. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos. If you've missed any of the past winners, no worries. Just scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement in the title, click on that video, and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. You can find me on Instagram at IamFires, or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Novellin. There's links down in the description to both. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We will be posting again real soon, including some very juicy Spider-Man reveals on the horizon. See you guys soon.